Hi, my name is Simran Kaur, and today I will be discussing if 18 should be the considered adult age. Why is 18 considered adulthood? This question plausibly have been questioned by many. Once 18 turns 18, they officially become adults according to the laws in the US. This is the age when the US and the rest of the world considers young people to be capable of accepting responsibilities for their actions. At the age of 18, they begin to explore and experiment with new laws and leisures they are given once they are 18. Some examples that 18-year-olds now can do that they are unable to do before they turned 18 was to vote, move out on your own, hold relationships without parental consent, and buy medication. The minimum age to smoke cigarettes before was 18 until bills were signed to change the age to 21, hoping for less adolescent addiction. Science about brain maturity has evoked that most people are not fully matured until the age of 25. So the question is, then why is the adult age stated to be barely 18? Brains have not fully matured at that age, and teens will tend to make frequent mistakes and will suffer the prices than adults would be given. It is understandable why many might believe for 18 being the correct age for teens to not become adults. For example, they can enlist in the army to serve for our country, and they can buy medication on their own if they are in need of medication when there is no adult present. There is a down factor of being 18 and an adult. Teens' brains are not fully developed and they are given responsibilities that will not be taken accurately and correctly. This can lead to a mistake that they are unaware of completely and then punished for a lifetime because they are presented as an adult when making that mistake. The right age for adulthood could be increased to 21 rather than 18 because at this age the brain would be more developed than when it was at the age of 18. At the age of 21, teens would have had more experience due to college, work, and the environment as well. In our generation, teenagers are more aggressive and hot-tempered than most older people. Teenagers have the want to be in control and the desire to want to act like adults to make choices of their own. For the most part, teens are not experienced or they do not have the knowledge to make the right decisions in tough situations. This often leads to hasty decisions and then mistakes are bound to happen. The changes that happen between 18 and 25 are a continuation of the process that starts around puberty, and 18-year-olds are about halfway through that process. Their prefrontal cortex is not yet fully developed. That's the part of the brain that helps you inhibit impulses and to plan and organize your behavior to reach a goal. This part of the brain is not at its full development, and at the age of 18 will cause impulses that are not fully controllable, even if they might seem they are at the very moment. It is hard for teenagers to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong because they lack knowledge than someone who is older and has experienced life before. The age that is required in order to drink is 21. A person has to be at least 21 in order to consume alcohol. For example, if the drinking age was lowered down to 18, then there would be less frequent reckless driving behavior and an increase in high school dropouts. Teens have less knowledge about the dangers of alcohol and they tend to abuse it instead. If the minimum required age to consume liquor is 21, then why should the teens become adult at the age of 18? Young teens dress way too grown up for their age and present themselves as older. Currently, there are teens who are getting pregnant at 18 and starting families. They have not fully experienced life, and most of the teens would not be prepared to raise a child at such a young age. In most cases, the teens that are pregnant do not have sufficient funds to even support raising a child. Teenagers that are considered adults at the age of 18 do not tend to make the best choices. 18-year adults are not even fully developed themselves, and what makes them believe they would know how to provide and raise for a child? This is illogical. Too many teens are given grown up responsibilities, and in doing so, they make the wrong decisions due to their lack of maturity. Most adults that are in this situation then tend to rely on parents to financially support them. It is justifiable why teenagers would want the adult age to remain still 18. They can have the freedom to vote and make choices of their own. They no longer have to live under their parents' roof and obey the rules that are given. Teenagers then would have the opportunities to make their own choices and live where they want to willingly. If a teen doesn't get along with their parents, this would allow them to separate and prevent having daily arguments. Most teenagers go off to college, and some even go out of state and live on their own, where making decisions as an adult are probably necessary. Most teens want to be able to purchase liquor at age 18, but they are unable to because of the minimum age requirement to consume alcohol is 21. It is reasonable on why most teenagers would want the minimum age requirement to purchase liquor to be lowered to 18. If 18-year-olds are able to vote in election and enlist in the military to serve for their country, then why should they not be able to consume liquor until later? Teens that are 18 will receive the same consequences as an adult would receive. If teenagers are adults, then why can't they control and consume as much liquor they desire? If they are able to make decisions that affect the U.S., then what makes teenagers unreliable for the consumption of liquor? This is due to the statistics that are now seen that teenagers act even more reckless when liquor is available to them, and they tend to make mistakes that are unreasonable. Their mindset is not fully developed and will not make smart choices. If alcohol is added to that, their perception to distinguish rights and wrongs deteriorate even more. Though the debate over if 18 should be considered the adulthood age will continue, both sides want a society filled with more responsible individuals that are able to take care of themselves. With that goal in mind, the US and our society needs to ensure that the laws that are enforced for 18-year-olds are practical. We do need as many individuals to enlist in the military and make their own decisions, but allowing them to vote on a decision that affects the entire US? These laws should be reconsidered and debated on what laws should stay and what laws need a higher age requirement.